Greek Mythology Trivia Speed Round 1. Track how many questions you can get right. Question: which goddess was born fully grown and armored from her father's forehead? The answer is Athena. Fun fact: Athena sprang from Zeus's head after he complained of a splitting headache. Talk about brain power. Question: which Greek god ruled the sky and wielded a thunderbolt as his weapon? The answer is Zeus. Fun fact: Zeus's thunderbolt was forged by the Cyclopes as a gift after he freed them from the underworld. Question: which Greek god of the sea carried a trident and was known for causing earthquakes? The answer is Poseidon. Fun fact: Poseidon's mood was said to affect the oceans. Calm seas meant he was happy, storms meant he wasn't. Question: which god ruled the underworld and was married to Persephone? The answer is Hades. Fun fact: despite his gloomy reputation, Hades wasn't considered evil, just strict about keeping souls where they belonged. Question: who was the messenger of the gods, known for his winged sandals and incredible speed? The answer is Hermes. Fun fact: Hermes also invented the lyre using a turtle shell, proving even tricksters can be creative. Question: which goddess of love and beauty was said to have been born from sea foam? The answer is Aphrodite. Fun fact: her Roman equivalent, Venus, inspired the name of our neighboring planet. Question: which Greek hero defeated the Minotaur in the Labyrinth of Crete? The answer is Theseus. Fun fact: he found his way out of the labyrinth using a ball of yarn given to him by Ariadne. Question: which winged horse sprang from the blood of Medusa? The answer is Pegasus. Fun fact: Pegasus later carried Zeus's thunderbolts into battle, the original flying courier. Question: who was punished by Zeus to hold up the sky for eternity? The answer is Atlas. Fun fact: the word Atlas for a book of maps comes from his name, because he literally held up the world. Question: which goddess of the hunt was often depicted with a bow and a moon crown? The answer is Artemis. Fun fact: Artemis was twin sister to Apollo and protector of wild animals and young girls. Question: which god of war was known for his hot temper and love of battle? The answer is Ares. Fun fact: despite his ferocity, Ares was often outsmarted, even captured by two giants at one point. Question: what bird is sacred to Hera, symbolizing her pride and beauty? The answer is the peacock. Fun fact: the peacock's eye-patterned feathers came from Argus, a hundred-eyed giant that Hera set to guard one of Zeus's lovers. Question: which goddess of the harvest and agriculture controlled the seasons? The answer is Demeter. Fun fact: winter was said to occur when her daughter Persephone lived in the underworld each year. Question: who was the god of wine, theater, and wild parties? The answer is Dionysus. Fun fact: Dionysus was the last god accepted into Mount Olympus, proof that even party animals can make it big. Question: which hero's only weakness was his heel? The answer is Achilles. Fun fact: the term Achilles' heel now means a small but fatal flaw as his literal weak spot. Question: who turned everything he touched into gold? The answer is King Midas. Fun fact: Midas quickly regretted his gift after realizing food, and even his daughter turned to gold. Question: which hero completed 12 impossible labors as punishment? The answer is Hercules. Fun fact: one of his tasks included cleaning the massive Augean stables. He did it by rerouting a river. Question: who opened a mysterious box that released all the world's evils? The answer is Pandora. Fun fact: Pandora's box actually started as a jar. The word box came from a mistranslation centuries later. Question: which musician tried to rescue his wife Eurydice from the underworld with his music? The answer is Orpheus. Fun fact: he nearly succeeded until he looked back too soon, and she vanished forever. Question: which hero flew too close to the sun, melting the wax in his wings? The answer is Icarus. Fun fact: his father Daedalus warned him not to fly too high or too low, but he couldn't resist the thrill of flight. Question: which Gorgon had snakes for hair and could turn people to stone with her gaze? The answer is Medusa. Fun fact: some myths say she was once beautiful until Athena transformed her as punishment. Question: which creature was half man, half bull, and lived in the labyrinth? The answer is the Minotaur. Fun fact: his name literally means Bull of Minos, referring to the Cretan king who imprisoned him. Question: which hero stole fire from the gods and gave it to mankind? The answer is Prometheus. Fun fact: for his defiance, Zeus chained him to a rock where an eagle ate his liver daily, until Hercules freed him. Question: what massive wooden structure helped the Greeks infiltrate Troy? The answer is the Trojan horse. Fun fact: the horse was Odysseus' idea, presented as a gift to the Trojans. Question: which queen of the underworld spends half the year with Hades and half with her mother? The answer is Persephone. Fun fact: her time on Earth represents spring and summer, and her time below brings fall and winter. Thanks for watching. Comment below to let us know how many questions you got right. If you like this video, tap like, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and share with friends. See you in the next video.